Hello and welcome back to the fourth video in the Lua learning series. This video I'll be covering for loops. Well, one half of them anyway. The for loops that I'm covering now allow you to repeat a bit of code over and over again for a specified amount. Let's start by inserting a part. Where are we? Here we go. And then creating a script inside of the part. And then as usual, delete this code. There we go. Okay. Now I'm going to write out the for loop, and then I will explain what it does afterwards. Okay, so there are a couple of things to unpack here. So to start a for loop, you just put for, and then this I here you can think of as a variable. And then these three numbers may seem confusing, but they all work together. 0 is a number that I starts at. And then 5 is a number that it'll end at. And 1 is a number it'll count up by. In this bit of code, I starts at 0, goes up by 1, and then by 2, and then by 3, and then by 4. And then it hits 5, and then it stops executing the code and moves on to the next bit. Or it's best to show this just by like printing something. And then if we run the game. Okay, so I made a slight mistake. Change this to 1 instead of 0. There we go. It starts at 1, and then it goes up to 2, and to 3, and then to 4, and then to 5. So it prints 5 times instead of printing 6 times. That makes more sense. But yeah, that's the gist of it. If we change the 1 here to a 2, it'll print 3 times. It'll run through it once, add 2 to the 1, which becomes 3, run through it again, and then it's 5, so it can still execute, and it'll run again, and then it'll stop. So if we try to run this now, you can see that it prints 3 times. Now generally you won't have to change the end number, what it goes up by, so you can just remove it and it'll count up by 1 instead. So a more practical example would be changing a part size. So, okay, well, here we go. We already have the part there. So we can just do script.parent, and then you can change the size. Size takes in a vector 3. So what that means is that if we look in the properties window here, there are 3 values. There's the x and the y and the z. How big it is on the x, how big it is on the y, and how big it is on the z. If you were to put in like a regular number, it wouldn't work because it doesn't know which slot to put it in. That's why you need the vector 3. It's just a data type, like the color 3 that we used last video. If we want to change the part size, we have to get the part size and then add to it. Okay, so we have the parent size, and then we want to increase it by 1 on all axes. We can do 1, 1, 1. So if this still doesn't really make sense, you have the size, but then you're setting it to something new. So you need to reference the size again, and then you need to add to the size. When we run the game now, it increases the size all at once, so everything just happens in an instant. It does run 5 times, but it happens so fast it looks like it only runs once. So to fix that, we can add in a wait. So a wait does exactly what it says, it just waits for a number of seconds. Okay, so now whenever it goes up in size, it should wait a second and then go up again. Now, yep, you can see that it slowly gets bigger over time. The next video will cover a different for loop that's also extremely useful. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Bye bye.